Hey, welcome to Loose Change. Walk-ins are welcome. Yeah, they are. How do you think I got in here? I'm Jim Evans. Thanks for joining us, and you'll be glad you did because we have a great guest. I'm really looking forward to talking with him. He's standing by, and we'll get to that in a couple moments. But as we do off the top, Greg, I've told you recently I've been looking for another car, and as fast as things change these days, there are some things that have remained the same over the years and even decades. And one of those is buying a car at a dealership. Why is this process still such a major pain in the, not everyone, not everywhere, but most. It just is. That's the real. And for me, the only difference between buying a car at a dealership and going to the proctologist doesn't have that new car smell. And the former might be a lot more uncomfortable for a lot of people. I don't know. Probably. Just had the 46th annual St. Patrick's Day Parade in Boardman. Greg, you were a part of that, right? People could see that here on Armstrong, right? Yep, got that going. You can talk. That's okay. But good crowd again. They had a lot of fun afterwards. The after-party celebrations. And actually, they have an after party for this as well. For those people who had a little too much fun at the first one, well, they all gather the next day and watch the movie The Hangover. I don't know why I keep doing this, Greg. We just had the time change, and once again, I forgot to turn the TikTok ahead an hour. We might not have to worry about TikTok much longer the way things are going in D.C. Show of hands. How many of you watch the Oscars? Yeah, me neither. Now, I used to watch that all the time. Did you, Greg? Always, but no, lately, nah, But this last one, I happened to bump into the red carpet affair before the show, and what a spectacle. I mean, the extravagant hairdos, the glitzy makeup, the revealing gowns. And I'm not just talking about the women here. Hey, stick around. We're going to take a break, and then Coach Dan Yeagley will join us next right here on Loose Change. You really should. No, you really should. Welcome back to Loose Change. See, I told you we had a great guest on, and I have the great privilege to be joined by former head coach and Hall of Fame coach from South Range, Dan Yeagley. Coach, thanks so much for your time. It's great to see you.
Oh, it's great seeing you too, Jim. And Loose Change has always been special to me because we've been here many times, and I had a lot of time to talk. And
again, a real privilege.
You guys are good to me and good to South Range, which is huge, and I really appreciate that.
No problem at all. We're so fortunate to have you here, as we always have in the past. And so what have you been doing in retirement?
Well, it's funny because Kelly and I, my wife, we've been, that first summer, we sat on the porch and drank coffee in the morning.
Nice.
And didn't have to run, didn't have to go anywhere. And we downsized, we moved to Columbiana, and it was just different. And the fall was different. It's the first time I had some time in the fall to do some things, and did some camping and did some relaxing, and
That's great.
it relaxed, and just it was good spending time with her, because that's something, and my rest of my family, because it's something I never got to do in the spring, summer, and fall.
Yeah. Tremendous. For those who don't know, just give us a brief rundown on your coaching resume. 28 years as head coach at South Range, but a lot before.
Yeah, I was coach for a coach for 39 years. I was 8 years as assistant coach down at Watkins Memorial High School in Pataskala, Ohio. Head coach there was Jerry Cook, great guy, great mentor. Taught me a lot of how to treat people, and that's very, very important. It's not all about X's and O's, it's about people. Then I had a chance to come back home, graduated from South Range, chance to come back home, and was the assistant coach under Coach McClellan for 3 years, and again, another great mentor, another great guy, another great coach that taught me a lot about people, a lot more about X's and O's because he was an X and O guy, and taught me a lot about how to run a team. And then I had the chance 28 years ago,
Man,
and it's been a wild run. It's been crazy. It's been,
and it flew by.
oh, it sure did. I mean, it literally flew by. It's amazing, and how blessed I've been to have people around me and being able to hire the people that I need to hire to make South Range, keep South Range going the way it has been.
You mentioned about having time with your wife, and coaching has changed because the whole dynamic of high school football, it's a year-round thing now. And the time that you put in, all your assistants and other coaches, I mean, it's a labor of love. What are you making, $2.50, $2.60 an hour when you break it down?
I don't even know if it's that much. Is that $2.06?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant.
2.6 cents or whatever. I don't know what it is, and it has. And football is one of those sports that we can't go year round. We don't have JUCO. We don't have anything like that, and that can go all year round. So our main time is in the weight room, and main time is together as coaches and clinic. We clinic and go to everywhere we can to see whoever we can and to learn as much as we can. And one thing I learned early in my career is hire these guys, my assistant coaches, and let them coach. And where do they need to go, and make sure I get them there to learn. And they did, and that's one of the reasons why our success is a lot because of those guys and those assistant coaches and what they've done to prepare year in and year out. Because, like I said, we can't go year round, so therefore our time in the winter is very, very important. But then it comes spring, summer, and then fall, and into winter, hopefully.
Blessed to have the opportunity, and certainly we have been in the media to work with guys like you. But what advice would you give to an upcoming young guy who wants to get it, or young woman who wants to get into coaching?
Like I told Coach Rock, who was one of my players and one of my assistant coaches, and a phenomenal young man and a phenomenal coach, and just hire people. If you want to. Was always told, if you want to fly with the Eagles, you got to surround yourself with Eagles, and get those people around you. And sometimes you have to let them go, and sometimes you have to bring new people in and make some sacrifices to get the right people in the right place. But let your coaches coach. I mean, that's what they're there for. You can't micromanage. There for a while, I thought I had to do everything, and I can't. There's just no way. Yeah. So let them coach. I can take care of the little things to let them coach. And that was my main thing is, okay, I'll take care of this as long as you can coach those kids and get it across to them and teach them. And like I said, I've been blessed with great coaches throughout the years and great mentors. And, it's been a blast. And love the kids. We talked earlier, what do I miss most? I miss the kids. I really do. Don't miss the grind. 2 days and everything else is a lot of time and a lot of grind. But I miss the kids, and I tell Coach Rock all the time. I said, love those kids, love those boys, because they're special, and you got to do that. I mean, you got to show them and tell them, that you care about them, and show them that you love them, and show them that you're willing to put in the work. And again, don't micromanage. Let your assistant coaches do it.
Well, heck, I'm surprised. I thought you guys did 3 a day. So
well, actually. It was just one long day.
Exactly.
So it just right in. We gave a little break here or there, but it was just one long day.
And you've told me this before, and every other coach, you mentioned it's about the kids, and this sport is so unique in everything that goes into it, and how it prepares these guys to become young men. The lessons learned from playing this game.
It is, and it's not about X's and O's. It's about teamwork. It's about everything else. I told the kids all the time, there's nobody more important than the guy sitting next to you. You're going to remember them forever, and there's nobody more important than the guys that played before you and the guys that are going to play after you. You're building a program, a legacy here, and it's a bond. I see it still. I talk to those guys. We had an accident at the school, and one of the kids' aunts passed away, and it's amazing to see the players there supporting, and that's what it's all about, family. and so special. And those are things that they're going to carry on the rest of their lives. And now with social media and everything else, they're going to be in touch the rest of their lives. And they're going to be in each other's weddings. They're going to be in.
That's right.
They're going to be with each other forever, and that makes me happy, because that's what you try to instill in these kids, that it is a family and it is special, and the people in this room are very special.
For sure. You've had a little time to reflect on that incredible season you had before you decided to hang it up. You know what? Was your decision to step away and finally hang it up, had that been planned, or is it just something that came at that moment?
We won the state championship, which that whole season was just unbelievable.
Yes,
as a blur. I mean, it really was. It was just my coaches, the players, had a great group of seniors that were great leaders and great men again. And, everything came in. My decision to step down, I wasn't not planning on stepping down.
Okay.
I wasn't thinking about it. That not even crossed my mind. We were at a clinic in February after the season, preparing for next year down in Columbus. And, my staff, the whole staff was there. And, I had a chance to speak, and thank goodness I have great coaches that prepared the speech, the presentation.
Gotta have that.
For me. Oh, yes. And so everything, sat there, and we were sitting there Friday night, back to the hotel room, and I had to go to a banquet. Then I came back from the banquet, and they were there, and they were talking and having fun, and we were preparing for the next year and talking about not even football, just life in general. And I sat there and watched them interact between each other, and I said, you know what, I could step down right now, and the program would be in good hands. And hopefully somebody in this room would have gotten it, would become the head coach. And so I didn't say anything then. I got home that next week and talked to my wife, Kelly. I said, I think I'm ready to step down. Said she's ready, ready to have me around. And so we talked a lot about it. And then I talked to the coaches, and David said that he'd be interested in it, Coach Rock. And, I promoted him as much as I could, but it still come down to the board and other people's decisions. And, it happened then. And
Okay.
It was just nothing that happened right after that season. It was, like I said, a couple months later that I always knew that I wanted to, whenever I decided to step aside, if I wasn't fired, that, I didn't want to leave the program in
Right.
shambles. I wanted it to be in good shape, and it was in great shape. And we had a nice group coming back, and, and luckily Coach Rock got the job. Not luckily, he's the guy that should have gotten the
Earned
job.
it, yeah.
The whole staff stayed, and it was the easiest transition for the kids. And obviously they had another great year last year, so, so proud of them.
After that tremendous season, unbeaten state title, and you made the decision. We had you in here not long after the season was over, and you did not hint about anything.
No,
you were talking about what was
Next
to come
year,
the following season, but you made the decision, and boy, he just picked it right up and didn't miss a step.
No, and that's, it's all about.
That's a testament to you.
Well, it's a testament to the whole staff.
Right.
and the program. They are great coaches, and them all staying and helping out with Coach Rock, and Coach Rock brought a couple other people in
Sure.
to help out, which was needed. And and I told him what I thought. I told him some things that need changed. I'm old school. Have been old school. That happens when you've been doing it forever. And I said some things need change, and here's some things that you might want to think about. And I'm here to help as much as I can. And I'm only a phone call and 7 minutes down the road, so I can be here anytime to help. And like I said, it kept on going, and a lot of the reason why is because, again, the program, and he's a phenomenal coach. I mean, he really is.
Sure.
He's going to be, the program's going to be in good shape for a long, long time.
Did you go to all the games?
Almost all
Most
of them.
of
A
them?
couple of them I didn't, but I went to most of them and cheered him on from the sidelines. And he kept on saying, "I got a headset for you," and I said, "No." It's the important thing was the people needed to see that it was his program.
Yeah.
It was him doing what he did, because he ran my defense forever, and he's a great coach and has a great mind, and treats the kids right and does a super, super job.
We're going to take a break. You can hang around, right?
Oh,
We
yes.
Sure hope so. A lot more to come with Dan Yeagley. Stick around.
Supercharge your internet. Only Zoom Extreme from Armstrong combines unlimited data with whole home Wi-Fi at the fastest speeds possible. Zoom Extreme from Armstrong.
Welcome back to Loose Change. I'm Jim Evans, along with Hall of Fame former South Range head coach Dan Yeagley. And we left off talking about Coach Rock taking over after the championship season. And take us back to that almost magical year, unbeaten. You made the run 16-0, playing over in that fabulous stadium over there. And what an experience that was for you and certainly everybody.
It was unbelievable, and it was a it was a great experience for South Range. I mean, when you get there on a Friday, you're playing 10:30 on a Friday morning, and our stands is packed. And we drove in, and they were tailgating already. They had John Krause was cooking breakfast for everybody in the parking lot, and it was unbelievable. And but the whole run, I mean, just how the kids understood their role for the team and understood that the team is bigger than themselves, and it was so crucial. There wasn't a selfish guy on the whole team, because some kids, wanted to play more, but they knew that their role was special teams, and they did the best they could on special teams. And this, like I said, the senior group was unbelievable. They were. Billy, Shane, all those guys, Chris, Bailey. I mean, they were so focused on each other and focused on doing all the little things right and preparing and learning. And 16 weeks, they keep their attention for 16 weeks. Well, you got 2 scrimmages in there, so you're at 18 weeks, and then all summer to boot. The attention span of us coaches are hard enough, let alone,
They're kids.
14 to 18-year-old kids.
Right.
And they just did a tremendous job. And I'm just, like I said, that group was so special, and we always knew that group coming through had the makings, but you always run into that team, and you start playing, getting to the playoffs, and all of a sudden you have to face Mooney, and we got them, and and that was just, I mean, what a team and what a coaching staff that they have. And but our kids believed all along that they could win that game, and they believed that when we went on to play Perry and Liberty Center, and then got in to play Ironton, they knew they trusted each other. They knew what each other was thinking. Having Billy there, who was him and Coach Allegretto had a mesh. I mean, they understood each other, and was able to check off at the line of scrimmage and knowing what his limitations were. And his first touchdown run was a running play to the left, and he checked off at the line of scrimmage and ran a quarterback off tackle to the right, because that's what was there, because they were blitzing. He called it on the hard count and saw them blitzing, and just little things like that everything just fell into place, and how they played together, and got a couple of nice breaks to the block punt and fumble recovery. Just everything just fell into place, and that's, somebody said you need to have luck, and
a little bit.
We had a little luck there, but
a little bit. But you guys made your own breaks.
Oh, we did.
A lot of times.
We had it was fun, and I still go back and watch some of those games, because those kids were special, and a lot of fun.
And it was the whole season, the way you dominated everybody. I mean, it was really
they
so
were
unique.
They were good. It'd be curious. I don't know how good they really are. I mean, they were just phenomenal. What can you do? You can go 16-0 and dominate games, but they were unbelievable, and we still made mistakes throughout the season. Mm-hmm. And that's part of our job as coaches, to find those mistakes, to try and improve on them, because you don't want a little mistake to cost you a game. But those guys, like I said, they believed, and they were always together and had fun, and understood that what they were playing for was something big. And like I said, I'll be proud of them until the day I die, because what they did was unbelievable.
Yep, for sure. And I noticed this just from the broadcast booth over the last, couple of seasons, even before that. The precision of your offense was I just jumped out at me, and defensively as well. It's a little different on
Yes.
that side of the ball, obviously, but it was so precise, and I hadn't seen that in high school since Dave Hartman coached at Fitch, and I mean it was like it was finite, and you guys reminded me of that so much.
My the offensive staff, Coach Allegretto, and you got Nathan Toy and Krumbacher, and we brought in. We had lost a line coach. We needed a line coach, and brought in Levi Taylor, who played for us back in, I don't remember what year, but he played for us and just got home from college, and we grabbed him, and he coached the offensive line. Got Tony Foster from East Palestine because whatever happened there, and things just fell into place that way. But the offensive coaches do a great job, just doing all the little things right, making sure, and again, it's making sure that they work as a team. They have to understand that it is a team. It's not a running back. It's not a quarterback. It's not a receiver. It's a group. And we had 3 great receivers. We had 3 great running backs, and Billy ran the show, and our line just did a phenomenal job. We only had 1 returning lineman, and that was Chris Colucci at center. All the rest of them were all new, and
that's amazing.
And they all meshed together and realized we moved the tight end to tackle because that was important. Caleb Agee, and because we had another tight end, and J.D. Krause, who was a phenomenal tight end. They just all came together, and that's just so special to see that happen. And yes, our offense is fun to watch.
Boy, it was choreography.
Oh, it is, and a lot of that, again, Coach Allegretto and his staff and what they do, and again, that's one thing that I did was stay out of their way.
Well, you stayed in the right place, maybe out of the way, but the whole experience for you guys, and certainly it's so great high school football, in all high school sports, but how the community, the school and the community just rallies around you and just makes it all the better. And you mentioned about the crowd turnout that day, and for both schools, Ironton, that's a big thing for them. The way you guys handled it, they had to walk away stunned after that.
They were, and the coaches. I talked to the coach a couple times since then, and he just. Well, he doesn't have a whole lot to say. He said,
what do you say?
Because this was their year. I mean, they've been there and lost 9, I think, or something like that now, and that's just unbelievable that you get there. Because I was told by a fellow coach in the area, he said, enjoy the moment. You got to enjoy the moment the first time. It's a big stage, and maybe the next time you can win it. Well, I told the kids that, and I said,
heck with that.
We're here to win. And made sure we drove home the point that, guess what? The stage isn't too big. It's still a football field, just like all the other ones. It's just a game just like all the other ones, and you just got to play. And it doesn't matter if you're playing Springfield week 1 or Ironton week 16. It's still the same game. And execute and play for your neighbor.
No question about that. And, I remember Coach Tressel talking about when he left YSU to go to Ohio State, and those were his words, hey, the field's still 100 yards long. I mean, it's bigger stage, but, it's football. You guys came out, took care of business. And I think what Ironton scored 27. That was the most you allowed all season. Is that correct?
It is.
53-27.
Yeah, that was the most. And the defense played well. And again, that's Coach Rock's side of the ball. Coach Rock did a great job, and he had some nice veteran coaches with him. Coach Bart Dockery was there as the linebacker coach.
Guy,
and we brought in Coach Starkey, who was at St. Henry, was head coach there when they won the state titles. He's moved into the area, and his kids were playing, and he came in for the state championship game because we needed another set of eyes, and just to help us out because he's been in that stage before, and now he's coaching with Coach Rock. And just like I said, the defense played phenomenal all year, and there was a big argument amongst coaches. Well, how many points do I need to score? Well, I think if you score 50, we'll be okay. But the Coach Rock is a phenomenal coach, and his staff is great. Is a great staff also.
And that was a great day for our area football because after you guys took care of business, Canfield comes out and does the same thing. Just how many miles? Not even 10 miles apart, 2 schools, and it was just a terrific day for local football.
It was. Coach Pav is so excited, and it was nice when we were going in for our press conference. They were coming out the same tunnel and able to see him and give him a big hug, and he was so excited for us, and likewise we were so excited for them. afterwards, and having the little parade together and everything else in Canfield. It's a great thing for the Mahoning County and this area, because this area, people say it's down in football, but it's not. I mean, it's thriving. We got some great football in the area, and we've got great coaches and great players, and that's just a testament to this area. It still is great football in this area.
And I remember when you moved up to the new league, and there were questions as to how you would match up with some of the bigger schools.
Yeah,
you guys, they took care of that, answered that right away.
We did well, and a lot of that, I think
still are.
Donnie, Farron, when we were independent for 2 years there, we scheduled up and we were playing big schools and playing with these. We did that to prepare. We didn't know what our records were going to be. It didn't care. We didn't matter. We were preparing for that league, and we knew that we could play with them. We just had to get a chance, and our kids had to believe, and our kids did believe.
You guys sure raised the bar, and all the kids coming up now, they know what the deal is to play football at South Range.
They do, and thank goodness, because South Range is a special place, and football is very, very important to everybody, and especially the community. And it shows by our great stadium and our crowd support on Friday nights, and we're looking forward to many years to come.
Well, boy, you're going to have a new wing for you. Ohio High School Football Coaches Hall of Fame, Mahoning Valley Coaches Hall of Fame, the Quad County Coaches Hall of Fame, and now the Curbstone Coaches Hall of Fame. You're going to be involved in that ceremony, and it's a real privilege for me now I got that honor a couple of years ago as a media member, and to have a guy like you, thank you. To be, among, names like yourself and so many other great coaches and players and people in the community. That's really special.
Well, South Range has been good to me. And one thing that's very important, and when I was down in Columbus accepting that award, I made sure that it's not me. It might be Dan Yeagley on the plaque, but it's South Range, because I couldn't have done it without us, we, the staff, the players, and everybody else, and even my wife, my family, because they're very supportive also. And it's such an honor. But like I said, it's all about South Range and how special that place is.
I think the only thing left is they have to name the field or the stadium after you, and then Dancing with the Stars. That's
one thing it won't be. It won't be that. It won't be The Voice. So no. I've been blessed, and God has been good to me, and South Range has been fantastic. So blessed over and over.
We have been blessed to have you in the position you held for so long, and. We hear about, we're out of time here, but we hear about local football coaches, Mount Rushmore. You can't narrow it down to 4, but you are definitely on the list among that.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. But, and the one thing I miss a lot is you guys. I miss the media, because the media has been very good. South Range doesn't have a town. We don't really have a newspaper. We really don't have anything like that. But you guys have made South Range special. We've been able to pull in some local newspapers and obviously TV and the media. You guys have been very, very good to us, and I really appreciate you guys, what all you've done for me and South Range especially.
Can't thank you enough for all of your help.
Thank you. We really appreciate all you do.
Us. Great to see you, Coach.
Nice seeing
Hopefully
you too.
See you again soon.
Oh, please, anytime.
Well, doors open here.
Anytime.
Dan Yeagley, we'll be back to wrap it up here on Loose Change right after this. Well, that's going to do it for our show. Thanks as always to Coach Dan Yeagley. Best of luck to him and his wife and grandkids and Raider Nation. Thanks as always to Greg Roden, of course to all of you. You can catch us here on Armstrong 100 as well as YouTube. I'm Jim Evans, and we'll see you next time right here on Loose Change. It's not that cold, man. I don't know why.